Welcome to our Saturday morning craft hour. This is Deuxieme Vie Creative. If you watch this for the first time and don't know what Deuxieme Vie Creative is, we are a creative reuse store in downtown Lafayette, Louisiana. What we do, we collect or we offer used materials, old materials that normally maybe people would throw away, with the idea to make something new out of them. I'm Dorothea, and today I'm going to show you how to make a touch memory or sensory memory. It is a memory that one plays with closed eyes, and one tries to find the pairs just by touching. This is something great for kids, but I'm an adult and I tried it yesterday and I had fun too. So one can make the memory very easy, or one can make it more difficult. To make it difficult, if you want to make it difficult so that it's challenging also for adults, I would recommend to use similar materials. For example, just buttons. You see, these are both buttons, but not the same ones. And it's kind of tricky to find the right pairs. Otherwise, if the materials are really different, for example, here the wood and the pasta, then it's going to be more easy. Well, let me tell you something about Deuxieme Vie more. If you would like to go to the store to buy materials, we are still not open with the normal hours. Usually we're open from Tuesday to Saturday, but at the moment we are only open by appointment. And I think on Saturday we are open, but it's going to change next week. If you're interested to come to the store, check out our website. I think maybe the times are already there or maybe only next week. Okay, let's start with the craft. So I put this away and I show you first the really important materials that you do need, which is cardboard. So you can take any kind of cardboard, for example, this cornflakes box. If you take something that has maybe not a nice backside, it's always possible that you cover the backside with, for example, fabric or a kind of nice paper. I will show that later, but so if you want to make it nice, you can always cover that, but you can also just use it like this. I have here another cardboard where I don't need to cover it. It's nice on both sides. Then we need scissors, or you could use a paper cutter too if you have. If you want to make the cards all the same size, it's good to have a ruler. And for gluing the materials on, you can use normal white glue or hot glue. So the hot glue, sometimes it's very easy and very fast, but sometimes I made the experience that it doesn't hold very last, that after a while the things fall off again. And then for the materials for decorating your cards, you can use like any materials that you find in your house. Whatever you have works. I have here some screws, some beans, some little shells, some flat marble kind of things. This is some metal wire. Then I have all these things that I found at Deuxieme Vie lately. Some yarn. This is some braided wool. Then I have some felt. This is some coffee filter. I also found this at Deuxieme Vie because I never use coffee filter at home. Some cotton. Some crepe paper. show you these materials. Maybe in this time you can go collect your materials around the house. I have some feathers here, some nice, I think it's called trim. I already forgot the word. This is something else I said last time. If you're not a native English speaker, Deuxième Vie is also a nice place to improve your vocabulary, because these things are really things if you learn English at school, or even if you make an advanced or proficiency test in English, it's just a kind of vocabulary that you don't know normally. And there's some more fabric. And this is some nice paper, which I also found at Deuxième Vie, and was this very nice that it has a little bit, you can feel the shapes. So that's great for my memory. Okay, that's it. So I'll start. I actually wanted to say that if somebody is not into making a game, I think it's also nice to make just something decorative out of this. Like, your shapes could even be different things than squares. I could even imagine making like a flower out of cardboard, cutting a flower out of cardboard, and then just cover the cardboards with different materials, and then you make something nice. You glue it on your back cardboard, and something nice to hang on the wall. That would be also a possibility if somebody likes that, because when I made the picture here, I kind of liked how it looks like, and I tried to see how I can place these in order to make it look nice. I put this away, and I think I start with cutting my cards. If you like crafting and you maybe have kids and they have summer holidays, and this year there's not so much going on there, I think a lot of summer camps are canceled, and maybe you have kids at home. If they like crafting, we also have made some craft kits at Deuxième Vie that you can or buy online or our website, or with an appointment at the store. We have at the moment a macrame kit. Then we have a collage pack, a weaving kit, and I think a unicorn dream catcher kit. And we are going to make also more kits during the next couple of weeks. Also, if you like the activities that we do, so this, for example, this what I'm doing now, or we do also a lot of other things. We have done many different projects in the past, and we have a lot of ideas for what we want to do in the future, but we need support. We are a non-profit organization, so if you like what we do, consider to make us a donation on our website. Okay, I think this is enough cards for the moment. And now I'm going to choose what I'm going to start with. Maybe I start with the feathers. I try to find two similar ones. Maybe I have two better ones. It doesn't look like. I think those are pretty similar. One is a little bit smaller, but that's fine. Oops. No longer used. I had another glue which didn't work, and I always had to take the cap off. But this one I borrowed this at Deuxieme Vie for this, and it works perfectly. Just a little bit glue. So I already have my first pair with two feathers. Let me see. Maybe to make it a little bit difficult, my memory, I make another shape with felt. I have a triangle here, and so I think I'm going for a square one. So to make the second one the same size, I just put the first one together. Be a little bit careful that it doesn't move around. And I just cut along the first one. You see? That looks good. So I already have two more. It looks like probably I need to cut more little squares. For this I take also white glue. Maybe there will be something I will use the hot glue for, but for the moment I think this is all gonna work very well with white glue. Okay, these are already two more. So if you at home are still looking for more materials, I might give you some more ideas. I have here some aluminium foil. I think I already showed some pasta. These are metal screws. And I think the rest I already showed. I put them here so you can see them. And I'm going to make my next card. And I found this, probably my kids made this. It's a braided wool, which I thought I can just make a spiral out of it. That's almost already big enough. Okay, that should be fine. I put some glue. Oops. Oh, that was an accident. Oh. A little bit messy. Put some more glue. Oh, I might have to clean my glue first, otherwise my hands will be full of glue. That's better. Put some more glue to adjust this end of the spiral. Oh, that looks nice. I'll make a second one for the second card. Oh, actually, this is not braided. I see this is crochet. They probably used a crochet hook to make this. Okay, cut this too. Put a little bit of glue for the end. Okay. Oh, one is a bit bigger. Oh, that's okay. And now to have two like a little bit similar ones, I think I'm gonna make another spiral just of this thick yarn that I have here. Maybe it's not even bad to put the glue a little bit before, because if it gets already a little bit dry, it's sometimes even better. It's a little bit less messy. If it's too dry, it doesn't work anymore, but if it's just a little bit dry, sometimes that works better. But at the moment, I think the glue doesn't dry very fast anyway, because it seems the humidity is quite high. The second spiral, and I put a little bit of more glue to finish it. So I have now two similar ones, even though when I touch them, they feel quite different. Still, it's not as different as some pasta and some yarn. So in between, if you have like a cornflakes box or another kind of cardboard that doesn't have a nice back, I'm going to show you how I cover it with some fabric that I have. Actually, I found all these fabrics also at Deuxieme Vie. And these are old scraps. I think these were from upholstery or curtains. We have many of these, and when I took these, I actually found that they could be used for so many things. They could be even used for your table as sets for under the plates. Some of them have really nice patterns. So I think there would be really many uses for these. This one is a nice one too, and I'm gonna use this now for the back of my memory. So my memory could be used for a gift, maybe, if it's gonna be really nice. I can maybe for the next birthday party that we're invited to, like, or my kids are invited to. I think this would be an idea. I'm actually just going to glue it directly on the fabric without even pre-cutting it. And what I found is that it's better if it's not too wet, because if it's very wet, the cardboard, especially if it's a thin cardboard, has the tendency to bend. Like that's the same with paper. If you have ever painted on like thin paper with watercolors, the problem is that the paper is not going to stay flat. I guess you probably have made this experience in the past. It would have been good if I would have taken some old cloth just to clean my hands, but I didn't. So I need to rub the glue off my fingers first. And then I just cut around the cardboard. So if you have, instead of fabric, if you have a paper, I think probably paper is maybe even a little bit easier to work with. For example, I have here an old gift bag. And first I was considering just to cut this and use this for the back of my memory. I think that would have been a good idea too. Okay, let's continue with my cards. What should I use next? Yes, I think I stay with the paper. And this is going to be exactly the same what I just did, just with paper, this time for the front part of my memory card. This is a little bit thicker cardboard, so it's less important that it's not too wet, because it's so thick that I don't think it's going to bend. Let me see if that works with paper too. I haven't tried it before. Maybe I should have cut the paper before, but I'll try. Oops. I see it's tricky because the glue is still not dry. And that makes the card move. I think this method does not work very well for paper. I'm going to make the next one in a different way. It works well with fabric, but not with paper. With paper, I think this is easier if I just use the pencil and cut it first before I glue it. So this is my hair with this paper that has some touch that you can really feel the shapes. Because I think they're maybe printed on top of the gold, the white shapes, so one can really feel them. Okay. I wonder, of course, if somebody is doing this at home, what kind of materials you are using. Because there are no limits. You could use so many things. I'm going to use these flat marbles, or whatever you want to call them, or platelets, or I don't actually know where they come from. I had them at home. They were not from Deuxieme Vie, and I don't remember what they were, but probably something for decoration. And for this now, I'm going to use the hot glue. Ui, my hot glue is finished, and I don't know if I have more, but I do. I think I do. Here I have more. This is the problem with hot glue. If you just leave it sit, sometimes it just runs out when it becomes hot, and you waste a lot of hot glue. So the reason why I do like Deuxieme Vie and I became involved in this is I like crafting, and I have two kids who like to craft. And it's always like so many times you have some materials, it could be packaging materials. And you think, well, this could actually be used for making this or this or this, but mostly you don't have time at that moment. And also we all don't have so much space, even though we have here in the United States, usually people have big houses, at least bigger than elsewhere. Still, it gets full very quickly. And I think a store like Deuxieme Vie is so great because you can just bring those materials there, and once there's the right moment when you need it, you just go back there and you take it from there instead of storing everything at home. And while you go there, you might see also a lot of other things that you like, and it inspires you and gives you new ideas. For example, last year I saw that we had a lot of little small cardboard boxes, and I thought, well, they are nice. What could I do with them? And I had the idea to make a Christmas calendar. So I made a Christmas calendar out of these little boxes that we had so many at the store. And I think if I had never been to the store, I never would have had this idea. So it's really a very inspiring place for everybody who likes crafting or art or creating. So if you have never been to Deuxieme Vie, I would really recommend you to check it out. So I have 6 left. What should I make my last one with? I have some metal screws, and here I have those parts, which this is also an English word, which I don't know. Maybe it's called mother screw, could be, but I'm not sure. So that might be a little bit similar in touch to the metal screws. Well, not really, but maybe a little bit, just to make my memory a little bit tricky. By the way, yesterday when I tried this memory with my daughter, we had the idea to use it, to try it with our feet. So we tried to touch the materials with our big toes, and it actually worked. And not as well as with the fingers, but it was quite surprising what we could find out. So if you're also at home with kids and have summer holidays, this might be an idea. These memories are also great if you have children or if you work with children who have difficulties concentrating or who have some sensory processing difficulties. This is a great way to get concentrated, to calm down, and to just sharpen our senses. Oops, that's hot. That's the problem with hot glue. It's hot and it makes those nasty little things. I don't know how to call these in English too. So there are 2 words already that I have to look up after this session. And this is when you learn a new language, It never finishes, even if you have spoken it for years. If it's not your mother tongue and you didn't learn it when you were a child, you always learn new words. I think probably until the end of your life. Okay. 4 last ones. I could take the beans, or I could take the shells. Or I could take the trim. So let me take the beans and the trim. Mm-hmm. And the last row, didn't want to put too much hot glue because hot glue is fast. If you wait too long, it doesn't stick anymore. More. Okay, that's my first one, and then the second one. So that's my second last one finished. And this is going to be like my last one. And of course, at home, if you're making this together with me, you can continue depending on how many pairs you would like to have. Not sure if I should use white glue or hot glue. I think I don't have much hot glue left, but to make it fast, I'm going to use the hot glue. Actually, this memory could also be played as a normal memory, because if you turn them, they look almost all the same. And of course, some are a little bit stick a little bit higher up than others. But if you would play them outside in the grass or on a bed, it could be also just be played like a normal memory. Oops. I don't really like hot glue. even though it's something great. I mean, you can make so many things with hot glue that otherwise you couldn't make. But it's hot, one burns himself, and it makes those nasty sticking things here that we have to take away. But I shouldn't say anything bad about hot glue because it's actually really something great. There are so many things that we can do in crafting. I think before we had hot glue, they were just not possible. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's the end of my glue. It was just enough to finish. Okay, this is my memory. I'm going to show you all of my cards together. Now I have really many. So the way you play it, you can make that one person closes his or her eyes, and then you just give them, especially with children, you give them 2 cards in each hand, and they have to guess if it's the same or not. Or you could also put them all under a fabric, and the person who plays just goes under the fabric and tries to find a pair. It's a little bit more difficult, especially if you have many. Oh, is this the same or is it not? I have my eyes closed. No, it's not the same. I thought it was the same. So this is a good one. This is tricky. Or another idea how to play it is to put them all in a shoe cardboard box. And if you would want to, you could even make 2 holes on the side of the cardboard box, and then you can get in with your hands. So if you have kids who might cheat, and if you have a closed box, they can't. So this is a good way for little children to play. But I think there are many other ways and many other things you can actually find out with these cards that you could do. I had quite some fun yesterday together with my daughter when we played it. Oh, I missed one. Where is my second feather? That's on the floor. Okay, this is my memory. I hope you had fun. Maybe you're going to continue to finish yours at home. And if you like this, we do this every Saturday. Of course, we do something else next week. We probably do something more decorative again next week. This was the first time that we made a game. But if you have something that you like, or if you have a comment, don't hesitate to contact us, to write a comment under the film, or to contact us via Facebook, or even call us. Even if you have ideas, or if you would like to make something like this yourself for us, don't hesitate to contact us.